Because we are making relative statements. We don't
September.
make absolute statements.
And usually the last
but
quarter
we compare.
of that fiscal
You
always
two
have that
advertisers,
high
you
peak
compare
season
5
because
prices
it's like
and so on.
everywhere in the
And
world.
so,
If you have
it's
to
about
use the
difference
budget you
between
have.
these stimuli, right? And whether you have overall maybe a little higher anxiety level or feel a bit more uncomfortable or less, it doesn't matter because.
Hello, I'm welcoming Dr. Müller from Neuromarketing Labs here at Nürtingen Geislingen University. And my first question is, what's the difference between neuromarketing and the classical marketing research?
In classical market research, you basically ask people, people fill out a questionnaire, or you ask in-depth interview questions and try to understand what people think, what people feel, and what they're going to do via asking them. The difference to neuromarketing is that you use modern neuroscience and you use basically brain scans such as electroencephalography, EEG brain scans, or MRI brain scans in order to understand how the brain directly reacts to certain questions.
Okay, so what is the difference and what are really the benefits from that? Why should I go for neuromarketing research in comparison? What are really the benefits?
Well, if you do classic market research, you basically assume that people know what they think, that they think what they will do in future, and that they have an understanding of what their future behavior is going to be. And we know that all these assumptions are flawed, and that there's a lot of loss in data when you take that approach. And the advantage of neuromarketing is that you observe the activity directly on the brain, and you observe the direct reaction of the brain. And in fact, it gives you a much better predictive power. You have much better chances to predict future behavior if you look at brain activity directly.
Okay, maybe you can explain me some use cases. When it's in which areas it's mostly used at the moment? Is it quite common already, or is that really something really new at the moment?
Well, it's been known for the last 4 to 5 years in basic academic research that brain scans predict behavior much better than classic questionnaires. And that's been done, for example, in the case of pop songs, the activity of emotional networks that are associated with pleasure or associated with reward. This activity, when listening to a pop song, predicts the future sales of this pop song much better than asking the person whether they would like this pop song or whether they would buy the pop song. Then it's been shown that people are not very good at predicting whether they would, for example, call a cancer research hotline or a quit smoking hotline, basically. However, activity in the decision centers of the brain can predict whether people are going to call this hotline. So these are examples from basic research. And now, in the last 2 to 3 years, it's been picked up more and more by a bunch of cutting-edge startup companies to really apply this research and really turn these basic findings into applicable market research tools. Such as ourselves, we've done this in the field of willingness to pay. We show how much the brain is actually willing to pay for a product and which price fits best to a product. Other cutting-edge agencies have been able to predict the flop rates and the effectiveness of commercials using fMRI brain scans.
Okay, so how long does it take from the first idea to conduct the research until you have the final results which you can really use in your marketing decisions?
In fact, you can, if you know the question and you have all the everything set up, you can get results within 1 to 2 weeks.
That's pretty fast, actually, so quite impressive. So how do you do that in such a short time?
Well, you usually need about 25 to 35 participants for a study. Each participant is scanned about an hour or 2 hours. So basically you can do this. We do this occasionally with fMRI, with MRI research, where you can do this within 1 weekend, and then all you need to do is analyze the data and report it to a client.
Thank you very much for this interview. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so enough about prices. Let's look into advertising. I'm going to show you a quick video, and I'm going to ask you what you think about it afterwards.
Nicht jeder Weg im Leben ist dein Weg. Eigentlich gibt es nur einen Weg, der sich richtig anfühlt. Dein Weg. Der erste in dir. Folge einfach deinem inneren Kompass. Du wirst staunen, wo er dich hinführt. Max, folge deinem inneren Kompass.
So, is that a good ad or a bad ad? And what is good about it? Or what's not so good about it? Yeah?
It's not only the product, it's an adventure with this beer.
Yeah. Okay. So, good ideas. It's an adventure. It's something modern. It's tough to figure out with neuroscience, but overall, what I want to show you is it's hard to tell what's actually good about this ad or not, right? Is it the music? Is it certain scenes? Well, what you can do today is, again, we use EEG brain scans. So this is a result that we acquired in our own laboratory in Stuttgart. And I'm going to show you now what is actually, when the brain is actually responding and to which scenes are actually better or worse. So it's a complicated video that you're just going to see, but so we have to be prepared in advance to know what you're looking at. On the left and right, you see electric activity of the brain. That's basically showing you that we actually did do brain scans and not draw these lines. We see in red and blue where people actually were looking. So in this case, everybody started in the middle because there was a dot in the middle before the movie came on. This is the eye movements, right? It's overlaid over the entire video. Also, the eye movements were recorded in our lab, and it's overall, it's data from 35 subjects. Most importantly, we can look at emotional valence, which is the positive and negative emotions. Upwards is positive emotions, downwards is negative emotions. We can look at attention. Up is high attention, low is low attention. And we can look at a bunch of other things, such as sweating, skin temperature, respiration rate, heart rate, all these things that might say something. But the most important things are actually these two lines. They are derived directly from the brain and directly based on cutting-edge analysis. So you see, when you don't know what's going on, people walking away, attention goes down. When somebody looks at you, emotions go up. Also, actually, when you see party beers, again, the lady turns around and the emotions go up. And now, most importantly, obviously, because this is not a fun thing, but it's actually produced to make money, what happens when the logo comes up? And you see that attention goes a little bit higher up in the end. Also, emotions go up, so that's pretty good. We have other pretty interesting TV ads where they have an amazing story, but when the product pops up, everything goes down. You can look at that on our YouTube channel. Especially the Mercedes ad is fabulous because I really love it, but it's not well done regarding the product, because the product when the product comes up, everything is we're losing our customers there. So this is especially useful if you want to figure out which scenes are useful. How should I put my music into ads? Should I, should I use the scenes where people look at me, which is usually a yes, or where people don't look at me, and so forth. How would you conduct it better? I can tell you how you could conduct it better. You'd have to simulate a huge, well-controlled experiment, and that I have recently met someone who the former market research director of Pepsi, and she had her own huge grocery store, like her own mega Safeway store in the U.S. And if you have that kind of possibilities, you can actually probably conduct pretty decent market research and get pretty valid results. But with just asking somebody, you don't get, especially in pricing. I mean, either you observe it in the real world or you ask people. You cannot. I mean, imagine Starbucks just saying, for the next 2 months we're going to play around with our prices and see how much you're willing to pay. People would go. That would be a PR disaster. So that's why you oftentimes cannot even conduct other market research. That's good.